Here we have an XTM XT2 1/8 scale Nitro Rallycross buggy. This was a buggy produced by the XTM brand to take on the burgeoning Rallycross scene, and this was their attempt at making a competition usable buggy so you could enter your local races that was affordable and would work well. So let's get some quick specs on it. We've got a wheelbase of 325, so not the longest, not the shortest, and I'm pretty sure that gives us a track width of 300, which was the competition dimensions. And then let's get a quick weight. That's 3566 grams. Okay, that's the body shell. That's the styling they went for. Some white to orange flame into sort of Spider-Man effect. Silver really at the front into metallic blue. It's got a striking look to it. But let me know what you think. Pins out. And there we have it. I always thought these looked quite nice for an entry level model with the black and the chrome screws and polished aluminium bits with the yellow highlights. It's a conventional layout with your engine on the left, center differential, steel spur gear, twin disc brakes front and rear, so you can adjust your bias. This is your braking and throttle servo, and then you've got your box for your battery pack, which was quite a good design. It was easy to open and deal with that, and quite a large receiver box. And I'm pretty sure these came from the factory with a 40 megahertz system, which was actually quite a good system. I should show you the transmitter. Some of the late models had a lot of decent adjustments on that transmitter, like endpoint, exponent, multi-model memory. So that was a little bonus these came with. Even though it's 40 megahertz, it was better than average. You got differential at the back, at the front, and in the middle. You've got steel drive shafts. There's steel gears inside. Pretty standard level of quality, but on the better side of things. You've got oil-filled dampers with aluminium bodies, and they are decently smooth with good damping. They don't have threaded collars, but it came with a lot of these spacer collars, so you could make some adjustments like that and get your spring, and you needed to choose the right springs to get that right. So starting from the front, you have aluminium knuckles. You had this this was a bit odd, like this top wishbone arrangement, which was adjustable, but I definitely remember breaking a few of these in operation and having to keep spares with me. They would break around here. Let's have a look underneath the front. Got a cutout for your differential, which was self-contained in its own casing. So you've got your actual differential casing, and then you've got this outer housing, which is something Armour have moved back to now, and that keeps nearly, all the dirt, or you can have the right lubrication on your gear set in there. And I guess it gives you an option of just swapping them out a little bit easier. I think easier in the case of if your car's covered in dirt, you can do a differential swap without having to clean it all down and make sure no dirt gets in. So on a competition day, that would be quite good for changing settings. It's quite convenient, the crosshead screws, if you've got a drill driver. That was fast changes there. 4mm suspension pins, that's quite strong, and then there's an aluminium brace across the front and back, so that was quite strong as well. Nice large hole for your flywheel, made it good universal for starting boxes. We'll just have a quick look at the back end when we're there as well. That had this wheelbase spacer, so we measured it at 325, but you could make it shorter. That's in the longer setting. You just swap that spacer to that side. So you could have it for a tighter, twistier track, maybe a bit of a shorter wheelbase there. Again, 4mm pins and a changeable rear brace, which is plastic here. And I think they gave you a set with different degrees of toe in from there, so you could adjust them. And 4 shock mounting positions, 2 shock mounting positions on the front. Another interesting thing about this buggy was this front brace arrangement. Had this very heavy duty, and these are very stiff in the front with like no movement, no chassis flex at all you can get from that pretty much, and no adjustability. They put a lot into that bracing. It's a big thick bit of aluminium, and then you've also got this steering top brace, which bends over to a big 4mm bolt going through there. So this is really overboard. I mean, I've never seen any buggy that's braced this much at the front end. This is the most I've seen these XTMs. Quick look at the tank side. High quality fuel tank, that's quite nice. Aluminium exhaust, standard header arrangement. They came pull start these. This one's in quite good nick. I often find the engines of these XTMs to have quite low compression, but that's usually a sign that they were a good reliable engine and people were able to use them to the point the compression wore out. So it doesn't mean that they're bad engines, it meant they were good engines that worked, that serviced the user well through a good few gallons of fuel. You've got a steel clutch bell in there, aluminium flywheel, so that's nice versus some cheaper models. You actually had steel gears there, so you wouldn't be messing around stripping those spare gears. And that adjustable engine mount arrangement meant fitting any other engine from other brands is quite easy, because you've got a lot of good forward and backwards movement there, and left and right movement. So those are quite good universal mounts. Maybe not as fancy as on the top end model, but they definitely are much more adjustable and universally livable with, workable on. Some of the top brand buggies have very fixed arrangement where we'll only fit one engine in one position. Steel drive yoke into your back differential. Again, you've got this heavy duty rear brace. We looked at an Inferno last week where it had the ball joints on the end, and I was saying it's debatable whether they actually transfer any stiffness in, because the joint itself can pivot. In this here you've got a solid bar which has no pivot in it, and that is, I'm pushing that as hard as I can. Again, no flex in this chassis because of that over bracing. Nice tough top arms, never broke any of those. Look at that big overbuilt plastic ball joint, that was good. $17mm hex drive and aluminium rear tower, and quite a sturdy wing brace arrangement with the adjustable. And this one looks off, but you can you had a few different mounting points there for the wing, but having these arms in a sturdy built quite well, because your buggy, when you flipped it or crashed it or you know, inevitably the wing takes a lot of the hit, so having nice strong arms there makes quite a good difference, and you do need some flex in them. And ABS plastic wing, these can take quite a fair bit of abuse. So yeah, there you have it. This is an XTM XT2. I think they're quite popular. How much success did you have racing one of these? Did you always want one of these? I think they're a well-built buggy. If you want to get one, you can still get parts for them. And it can definitely hold its own, whether you're just bashing or at the track. XTM XT2. Oh, just a quick look at the wheels and tyres they came with. They were their own brand tyres and wheels. The rims were pretty good. They may have well been made by a larger manufacturer, but the tyres, these were a bit weak. The rubber compound was a bit rubbish, and that square type pattern didn't really have too much grip going for it. These are obviously worn down, these ones, but those little blocks used to have a cutout square in them, so when they were brand new they did give the impression of quite a lot of grip and feel on the limit. But inevitably you're going to change the wheels and tyres for the track that, or conditions that suit where you're using the car. And here we have the XTM XT2 drop test.